see if we did. Uh-oh, system error. No, no. We're good. What's going on, guys? All right, this is going to be the first of many. We're starting about 45 seconds too soon. That's all right. This is a non-promoted, non-serious type of thing. And I appreciate Caveman Alerts is in the house. But there was so much going on today. I really had I wanted to sum it up and I wanted to share it with some people I was on. I was doing a one-on-one session. That's why I'm looking like I'm a waiter at a fancy restaurant. But how's the levels? Is the volume good? I want to know this for next time. We got one like. One like is good. One like on the way to many more. Just a quick recap. That's my cable company. They never have anything good to say. Just a recap. I met an engineering group when I was at a seminar in Phoenix, and I was talking to the guy, and he turned out to be a director of marketing and things like that. And getting to talk to him for a while, and he goes, "Yeah, you know what?" He's like, "I'll send out a company-wide email. Like, a lot of people want to get into investing. They only have the 401k." So anyway, he sent out a company-wide email. But he didn't say to watch. He just told him to like subscribe. So now I have all these subscribers, and I think they just like wrote it off because he's the director, and they just said, "Okay." His name was Jameson. I thought that was the coolest name in the world. He goes, "All right, Jameson, we got it. We subscribe to this kid's channel. That's it. What else do you want us to do?" But I'm gonna save this for I guess prosperity. I guess is the right word. But I really wanted to go over on the one-on-one session we were talking about NVDA, and I basically said it's almost a no touch zone because these are from the session. Tomorrow could be one of both ways, because as I see it, this whole run up is I think an overreaction, right? And by that I mean, okay, whatever they said on the call, I was joking earlier in the morning, I think to you, Apaka, that it was like they started Skynet, or they realized that AI could cure cancer. But this is definitely an overreaction. There's going to be a lot of people taking profits. Today's volume was, I think, more than triple. Let's see, average 43. 153 was today's volume, and average was 43. So that's a lot of people exchanging hands, and it didn't go anywhere. You'd think that if it had triple the amount of volume, that there'd be big, wild swings. This is just people exchanging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think tomorrow will be the deciding factor if we break 400 and we just go into open air, because this is all-time high. As the three people that are watching, I don't have to tell you this, but NVIDIA was at an all-time high because of this earnings report. So if we come sinking down to here, which is where this level comes way back, I don't know what it is from, but whatever. I took out a lotto 370 puts. That's what this green line here is. It's all about AI, man. I bet you the earnings call, all they were like, "Good evening. AI, 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 more AI, and we're going to do much, much more AI to come." And people just probably ate it up. I mean, where was the chief financial officer? Usually when he or she starts speaking, you'll see a dip, but there was just nothing. I mean, I can't believe this. It's a 100-point move. So I was saying this earlier. If you had a 7-cent option, and what was it, 390? I think that was the one I chose. 390. It is today. No, that's not the right one. Anyway, if from 7 cents to $1,100, it opened up as. Obviously, with theta decay and everything like that, it changed. But I was saying to the person I was mentoring, I guess you'd say, don't touch NVIDIA just yet. Wait for tomorrow, and then we have the 3-day weekend, which is going to be very interesting. I think here. Is that it? The 30th? Yeah, the 30th we start trading again. So that's the beginning of the day. So I kind of started this without really much in my head, but I did do a couple videos on AMC and NVDA. They were short only because of another Discord. There was a conversation about AMC, so I made those couple of things. I might have to touch that up because that email that's on there is now defunct, which is upsetting because there's so many accounts that are coming in now for that service that email provided. It's just a shame, but they're all getting bounced back to my regular email, so we'll just have to move those accounts to another endeavor. Speaking of another endeavor, in the chat, I think the chat is going to be on the replay or not. You'll see Caveman Alerts. This is a new Discord I found. I've been a member, I've been a free member for a year, just kind of like spectating, and I finally pulled the trigger and became a full-fledged member, and I'm not just saying this because Alpaca is in the house, but it really is a great community. And I'm always on the search for a community that doesn't have competition, because you'll have people like, hey, if you took those puts with me, you're up 100%. Take profit. Look, people know when they're up. They don't need to be reminded. People do that just to put it out to the rest of the community. Like, look what I did. Look what I did. Competition kills communities 100 times over. Competition kills communities. There is no competition here. It's all about sharing ideas and sharing. There's so many channels to think of it. And one of the channels is AMC, which is one of the titles of this, I was going to say podcast. What is this? This is a YouTube video. So I've been a fan of AMC ever since it made me a nice pretty penny back when I first started actively trading, and GME, the like. But I don't want to alienate, because it's a point of, like, people say, oh God, AMC, you're still talking about it? Yeah, because a lot of people are really, really interested in it, and why not talk about it? So this was the most recent trend, I guess you'd say, that I had to clean it up a little, and it's a little depressing when you look at the daily. We've come so far, and we've come to here. And I remember hey, look at Sharp today. Yeah, I was on a one-on-one session, and an early one, a client call. That was insurance, so I just stayed like this. So I know I look like a waiter from a progressive restaurant, but that's the reason why. The whole idea behind AMC. Oh, and that's when I first started watching people on YouTube like Matt Kors and Trades. Alpaca knows a lot about Trey, and those guys pretty much changed the way I looked at investing. You know, I came from, just a quick background on me, I worked at Morgan Stanley in 2001. In fact, my interview date was September 13th, and they called me on the 12th to say, postpone your interview. We're going to postpone it. I was like, oh, I understand. I mean, whatever. Yeah, we're going to postpone it till Friday. I was like, wait, just 2 days? Yeah, we really want to get you in here and this and that. Anyway, I wasn't a trader. I wasn't anything really exciting. I was in electronic publishing, which means I worked with the law department, and I worked right underneath the analysts. These guys that we paid millions of dollars, they get paid millions of dollars, and they kind of shape the way the market really is, because you could see on the earnings reports, they always want to know what the analysts are thinking. Oh, did they beat the analyst's estimate? Did they miss it, But anyway, they would hand us reports, and on top of it, it said for internal use only. So that means it got circulated all around the tens of thousands of employees of Morgan Stanley, internationally on some indexes, I imagine. But then it came to publishing. And from there, the first thing to do would be remove for internal use only. I can't tell you how many times I published an article that had for internal use only on it, and the phones would not stop in ringing. And I'd be like, oh, I did it again. Shucks. But aside from that, we learned to find, we have to breeze through this article as fast as we can to get it out before the other banks did. And from that, we had to learn patterns and terminologies and everything that would go into an analyst article. We had to be able to skim through and pick up with. So I learned textbook, and when you learn on a textbook, it's like learning inside of an echo chamber. You see the pattern on the page, and then when you get to the quizzes at the end, you recognize the pattern. That's it. Until I started actively trading and following these other guys on YouTube and applying those patterns in a non-static environment, but a live, active environment. I mean, there's nothing exciting than when a pattern or a chart comes together. So getting back to this pattern here, this is an uptrend on AMC, and I had a little trouble of figuring out where this would go, but I landed on this. And the reason why that's important is when we're in a trend and you break down from a trend. So uptrends tend to break down, downtrends tend to break up. So we're breaking down, but we're holding this, and I'll adjust it just a little bit because, like 50 Cent says, just a little bit, just a little bit. So if we break down and hold the previous low in the trend, we haven't broken out of the trend yet. So you're saying, well, Doc, it's clearly not in the trend anymore. Right. But now if we come back up from here, we can start a new trend. The MACD doesn't look so promising, though. So I tend to lean towards positive news when I'm talking about AMC, especially to AMC lovers. Professional hedge. Oh yeah. 100%. So when I'm not going to say I'm trying to sugarcoat it, but there's always a way you can slant it to say, hang in there. And no audience or no community more than the apes I know of that hold on to positivity more than they do. So maybe I don't have to sugarcoat it, but the idea is that you just gotta find where you can get in and get out. And oh god, the RSI is okay. Well, the RSI still has room to go down, so this may not. It's not so confident that it will hold, but I'm not saying it won't. You know, I'm double talking now, and I can understand that. So when I'm looking, so if I were, okay, let's back up. A couple days ago, they were saying, should I get more AMC? And I was like, well, that's really up to your bank account and everything like that. But if I were to be a betting man and I had to decide whether to buy AMC here or not, I would wait for Monday. Well, not Monday, Tuesday. But I would see if it held this. This looks like it reached down here today, and it touched it. It kissed it, and we're coming back up here. And if we'll see in how the later of the day, yeah, we just touched it, coming back up here. So on Monday, Tuesday, if we see a big trend up, and this will be easy to get. These two big red candles here, they slid down. So you come down on a slide, it's almost as easy to go back up. So what I mean by that is if we look back here, there's points of contention. It came down here. There's a point of contention. Came down here. You know, there's a lot of resistance, support, whatever. But this two big red candles, and if we go out to the hour, it'd be one big red candle that could be easily retrieved or backtracked, even though we're going up. I think you guys get what I'm saying. I would want to see, and if anyone is in AMC in the room, chime in. Let me know what you think. This will be a target probably for the next couple days. I would say if we broke this, which is just about $5, we'll be looking good. This whole downtrend is now looking like a double bottom. And by double bottom, I mean exactly that. You touch it once, you ride up. You come back down, you touch it again. So if we break out the bigger time frame and we get rid of the trend. So sometimes when you have the trend, all you see is the trend. So I like to switch back and forth from naked to artwork, basically. That's all it is. Trends are an art and a science. I can throw down a trend, and Alpaca can look at the same exact chart and throw down a different trend, and they both make sense to a third party and to to the both of us. So this double bottom, if we can bounce back up and hold above 5 next week, I think that'd be looking good. And a lot of people are waiting for, I forgot what it was, but something to come out from AMC. It's probably either another share count or a lawsuit pending or some type of big news. And AMC is very sensitive to all that stuff. So again, if anyone in here is into AMC, holding AMC, has any ideas about AMC, let me know. AMC and NVDA were the two biggest stocks of, I think, the last couple weeks that people were talking about the most. So that's why I made the couple videos on AMC and NVIDIA. They're not really any, well, NVIDIA is one of my favorites to trade. I stayed away from the earnings. I didn't play the earnings. I was sitting in the doctor's office, and it was approaching 4 o'clock, and I wanted to pull the trigger, and I was this close to getting a 10-cent lotto on either side. By that, I mean you're paying $10 for a huge move either way. And the idea is that they cover, big moves will cover the other side of it. So you're not even betting one way and hedging the other way. You're just playing both sides equally. And a 20-point move, which I think First Strike was talking about in the Discord that I was just talking about, in Caveman Alerts. There's a gentleman named First Strike Veteran, and he was just going over NVIDIA would probably move about 20 points either way. Well, 20 points, absolutely, it moved, and it moved 100 points one way. So I was that close to doing it, but I didn't. Hey, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You can't cry over spilt milk. I can't believe it's only been 16 minutes since I started this. I really wanted to I had so much to cover. I covered in the one-on-one session, but like I said, I didn't promote this. I was really hoping for a few more heads to turn out, but I'm gonna leave this up. Somehow, a lot of people find my videos afterwards. But I mean, let me guys, you guys let me know what's happening. Give me feedback, leave it in the comments, or tell me here what's going on. If the I think the levels are fine. I'm looking at the levels. I should probably turn it up a little bit. Am I gonna blow out your speakers now? You probably had it set to one level, and now you're at the other. And my voice is almost gone. I've been talking all day. So to recap, I have a 370 put position right here, just in case tomorrow we fall down. I'll be there to pick up the pieces. They're more volatile than a 5-day week. Let's just put it that way. Because the options, the way they do it, is they run on a faster, clock. They're starting out with the same. It's the same numbers but crunched. So there's a day missing. So before you know it, your theta has been eating away at you halfway through the week rather than giving you at least 2 or maybe 3 days to work with. So if I buy an option on the Monday, a call or a put, I'm out by Wednesday the latest. My Nike position, I was out on Wednesday. Where is Nike now? I think I have 1 or 2 runners left. The one I have is for June 9th. And just to go over this trade, this was a great trade. It was discussed with me and a friend of mine on Sunday. And I said, yeah, that looks real good. We're going to be going into the gap. And we'll come out here and show you where this came in. And then maybe we'll wrap it up after that. So this was the gap that she saw. Let's get naked here. Let's get naked. So this was the gap that it was teetering on. It was this candle was on the Friday of last week. This is a Doji family candle. This is an indecision candle. It's a little high up on the wick. So I guess that would be a hanging man or a hammer, you know, pick your poison and what you think would be. This was Friday, and this is where the gap started. What did I say, 113-ish? Yeah, 113.55. So I said, wait till Monday. And if Monday we go into the gap, then I'm going to pull the trigger on it. And that's exactly what happened. A big red candle on that Monday. We got to put, I took 111, and I took 106 for June 9th. Went far out just to be careful, but I wanted to get the immediate, you know, the play here. So I took the 111 down, and I sold it by the Wednesday. It was out. I was out. I'm channeling my Dave Chappelle right there. But I got to watch my language. Because we on YouTube. This isn't OnlyFans, man. We got to get it. Come on. We got to get it straight here. So it touched down on Wednesday, popped back up. So now, this is more of a hanging man, I think. Or a hammer. Whatever. Textbook. Going back to the textbook days. This is usually saying a reversal or a continuation. But since it's red, probably going to be a continuation. And it was. So I'm still holding on to that 106 small position for June 9th, but I'm out of everything this week. The longer you hold options, especially non-spreads, which means either a credit call spread or debit call spread, if they're just naked calls and puts, you're going to start to get killed on Thursday with the theta, which is time. Time eats away. Time eats away. Just think of that. Theta is time. Time is theta. And for some reason it stopped at 107. And when I checked with my friend who's in another community, he follows Bookmap. Bookmap is something where they find the orders. It's almost like like a market depth chart, or what do you call it? What over here? Level two data, but it's displayed in a virtual, visual way. So he said to me, like, watch 105, 106. There's a lot of orders right there, and that creates its own support and resistance when you find these Bookmap levels. I'm confident though, because as you can see, the lines I drew here, this is a bear pole and this is a bear flag. So that would signify that the continuation is the same as I forgot the actual definition of it. The length of the continuation after the pattern is similar to the length of the entrance before the pattern is created, which basically says that this line, the length of the pole going in to a pattern is going to be the same as the length coming out. So you could make the argument that this is the pole and that this is the flag. So that means the flag would probably last a couple days into next week, going sideways, and then continue on down. So Nike might have a lot more to go. And that's funny. I did not draw this line based on this line. This is another level I saw back left, which is here. So keep that in mind. Nike could have a lot more to go down rather than just covering this gap. And there's all sorts of news to back that up, that the Foot Locker and Nike, they're not, I don't know, Foot Locker's not carrying Nike anymore or something like that. So news does sometimes play a part of the price action, but don't rely on the news to try and make your trades. You're never going to be the first one to read the article. And going back to what I said at the beginning, when I worked at Morgan Stanley, we got the news after thousands of employed professional traders got that news. So they're making their orders, and we still haven't even published the article yet. Now I know everything moves a lot faster, and that's why my position just got eradicated. We don't need you anymore. There is, I was translating language to AOL, to Yahoo Finance, to all these other different vendors that most of them don't even exist anymore. And then from there, they give them out to their subscribers. So you're getting it almost third hand. So just keep that in mind. You know, if you're watching news to find trades, you're going to be late to the party. It's good though if you see something like an action move, like wait, why is Nike crumbling on Monday here? Then you go and you look in the news and you can find something that correlates it. That's a whole different ballgame. And then you can decide whether to keep going in the trade or not. You see how drastic the news is. So just keep that in mind, that news is not a don't watch the news in order to trade, but when you see the chart or the price action doing something, then you search for the news. That's fine. Does that make any sense? Did I overshoot that, or did I over-explain it? I tend to over-explain things, and that was one of my biggest complaints in my last community. They were just like, Doc, we got it. We got it. Just chill. Oh, okay. Thank you, caveman. Oh. So this is Nike. That's what I was in this week, and I tend to try and focus on as least amount of plays as possible. And I'll always have maybe one or two that are longer plays that are like a month out or something like that. Like Paramount, I got speaking of lotto calls, I got some lotto calls for $20 calls after this move here, and I was like, okay, we're holding this level. I'm gonna get some $20 lotto calls for was it May 26th? No, that had to be a further one out than that. Maybe I moved it. I remember it being June or something. I closed that account now in case. There's been other times too where I switch screens and you can see my whole account, and it's kind of jarring, to have that out there. But anyway, Paramount moved today, and after hours. Okay, this I have to go check on my account when we're done. This is probably a news item, so these two bars that kind of happen afterwards, we'll click on the news and then we'll see. Paramount Global controlling shareholder gets $125 million cash infusion. Okay, that's some important news. But 37 minutes ago, and that would be 420. That's a nice number, right? So that would be 420. The news came out, and let's do it on the 15:05. So here's 420. No. Here's 420. The news came out here, and it's already been moving in the direction. So unless you're like watching every second of every stock of everything everywhere, you wouldn't have gotten in on this based on the news. You would have read it and then, okay, come back 5 minutes, 10 minutes later. But if you're just happened to come by it, you could play the charts. I hope that makes sense. Again, I'm over explaining it. I'm kind of running out of stuff, so I guess that would be a good segue to wrap it up. I mean, like I said, I mean, when we got a few people here, I really appreciate you guys coming by to this, like, what do you call it? I'm such at a loss for words. I went through so much vocabulary today to try and impress people. It's just like when you're gassing up for a cross-country road trip, and you gas up once, and then you get to this point in like Nebraska where there's going to be no more gas pumps for the next 100 miles, and you're like, you know what? We can do it. We can do it. That's where I feel like I'm at right now. I feel like I'm on fumes, and I don't think it's it doesn't serve you guys to deal with me on no fumes. I'm used to going 8 hours a day and making it, but for some reason, today is just a little like, oh, thank you. One good feedback. So if you guys have any comments, leave them below. I appreciate it. And don't forget to like what I'm supposed to say. Like, subscribe, and share. That's an important thing right there. Like, subscribe, and share. Share it on social media. We're going to be improving this. And like I said, this software I'm still working out the bugs with. But I really appreciate everyone that came by for this first part of the journey. But next week, I understand there's going to be a lot of improvements going around in Alpaca's universe and mine. So definitely check back, set the alerts so you know, because I don't do this every day. And when I do it, you'll be notified. I guess that's really it. And also, oh yeah, by the way, if you guys feel like helping out, supporting the channel, at the top of the chat, there's a little link. You can leave a tip, and thanks. Okay, there goes Paramount back down, and I really appreciate it. And it all goes back to supporting the channel. I try not to use my own funds to start a new adventure. I like to have it like pick up on its own. So again, I really appreciate it, guys. And we're gonna try this. Oh, this is gonna be fun. I have an ending. We're gonna try that. All right, guys. I'll see you when I see you. See you. Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to say. I've been getting into one-on-one sessions. I used to do it with my insurance clients on how to get into personal trading and stuff like that. But now I've been doing a lot more with active traders, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback on it. So if you or anyone you know wants to get in on a one-on-one session, we cover basics to advanced to anything you can think of. Shoot me an email up there, get in contact with me. We'll schedule some time and see what you're looking to know and see if it's a good fit. Other than that, thanks again. I'll see you soon.